Hello everybody, my name is William Jamin and welcome to my channel. Let's continue to sculpt abs. Okay, I think this is one of the favorite parts of me, and yeah, the abs is just a six packs is so hard for you to train. So yeah, but you can easily sculpt that, and the only thing you need to do is you got a meter brush size and use this um, strip clay strips to add that. Okay, before we actually do that, let's add a little bit muscle here, so just become much more realistic. Just add a little bumpiness, maybe smaller, and alright, and because the muscles connect from the side to the center, so you need sort of to add a little bit bumpiness here, and then you can start your ab. So the ab essentially is a 6-pack, and sometimes it's 8-pack, and the way I remember this is that you start from a pretty small one. The first one and 2 is the smallest one of them all, and when you draw the second pair, it will be a much longer part, and the muscle I think is starting this way. Okay, so it's sort of a up and down muscle, because it is if you look at anatomy, it should go this way, and you check the depth is not enough, so let me just add that much bigger, and then the last two will be a pretty long all the way down here, like a little bit triangular area. So remember, if you working on this side muscle, it should be sort of enclosed with the last muscle, because last muscle is sort of triangular shape. So the side muscle should be like this, and all the way connect to the last part. So the last part should be like this, and like that. Side muscle should be like this. Yeah, I think that that's pretty good, but we sort of need to gut it out a bit, I think, because that's too small. Let me just grab it. Remember, if you want make a fine-tuned changes, you do not need to use the smallest brush, but rather, on the contrary, it's sort of counterintuitive. I said it many times. You need to use the big brush to make adjustments. Okay, because big brush is like the average of all these verses, so you sort of take the calculation and take it into account of all these connected parts. So you can adjust that slowly and smoothly, rather than just that's too much. Let me push it down a bit, but the upper bit, I think I'm going to get it out. Let me grab this part out a bit. Downward part out. Okay, and I think this part should be out, because you should get a lot of muscle over here, because it sort of overlap. Okay, so yeah, I think that's pretty good. Let me just get this part out a bit, so just make it more realistic rather than just like too perfect. That's not good. Okay. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Looks pretty nice. Right, and don't forget, you also need to consider the muscle, the chest muscle, right? And it's coming from the front and go to the back. Okay, so it's sort of go around all the way and move it down like this. So it's sort of got a center of it. So what I'm going to do is to use a holistic view to look at the sculpting. So I'm going to make it much smaller, and what I'm going to do is to go from this place all the way down. So, and I think a lot of muscle is like the triangle, but it's sort of an upside down triangle thing. Okay, so I'm going to get this muscle from the front, okay, and using the holistic view, got it back. And remember, we also got this smaller triangle here and the bigger triangle here. Okay, so this should be a sort of a triangular shape, but the rest should connect to that shape. And then this part should be smooth because mainly is the right connecting tendons right to this part. And if you all push all this connected, this will be pretty weird. So I'm going to carve a center line, and so you got this sort of a spine muscle inside the middle. So I'm going to make it pretty small and holding control to adding a bit of the dent. Okay, so let's make it more prominent dent. To make it natural curve. Okay, so this is much better than just go all this way. Okay, and you can make it smooth, pretty subtle smooth, but increase the size to make it overall smoothness. Okay, I think that's pretty good. This part get smaller, this part smooth it out. Okay, then you're adding another layer. Maybe bump it up a little bit. Okay, so basically the theory behind that is pretty easy. You got this triangle here, another triangle here, and stop at this area. You got this dent area in the middle, and maybe a little bit side muscle here. Okay, so this is a better way of doing it is to use a holistic view rather than just say you're drawing a still image from the front. Okay, so you need to use the holistic view to consider the muscle, because muscle connect the front and back. You can't just move at a fixed position. Okay. Let's look at our guy. I think the neck area is a little bit weird. We will just make it smooth it out a bit, and and I think the overall size of his body is a little bit small. And what I'm going to do is to exit the sculpt mode. Okay, let's just go to the object mode, and of course we can scale it up. I think that's the problem is. Okay, so let me use my mouse here. I'm going to scale it up, and I think that is better. That's the better ratio. Maybe a little bit bunky. That's too much. Definitely too much. I think this may be a better ratio. So after you have made it a better ratio, you need to get it down. So you need to G to grab it and Z axis, and you want to move it smoothly. So you holding Shift, so you can move this smoothly. Okay, and maybe here, because I'll get the and yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Maybe I'm going to make it a little bit bigger, and yeah, the neck I think is a little bit long. I think maybe just holding Shift. Sorry, yes, yes. Grab it, holding Shift, and make it up a bit. Okay. Maybe just. Oh, that's too much noise. Right, sorry about the huge noise. My old office is renovating, and I talked to this renovating guy, and they're on a pretty tight schedule. So yeah, I already told them to not to get too much of a noise. Yeah. Let's continue. I think maybe that's a little bit big. Let's look at the ratio. That's a little bit big, unless you are doing a pretty characteristic character. And I think maybe just make it a little bit smaller. Holding Shift to, yeah, maybe something like this. You don't want something too comical, right? And yeah, so maybe that's it, and we can safely enter this sculpt mode and continue to do our sculpting. And the connecting area is a little bit weird, so let's just adding a little bit up, right? So just make it much more prominent, and the hand size a little bit small, and let me increase the portion of that. Alright, and let's add a hair to look at the yeah, pretty badass guy. Good. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Get this deltoid and bicep out a bit, because it's using a sort of a T pose here, so I can't get too much of the bicep, or it will become pretty weird. Only when you curve, you got a pretty prominent bicep. If you are just a normal T pose position, you won't be able to just bulge it too much. So yeah, let's move it a bit. Okay, so yeah, pretty badass guy. And let's check the back a bit. Maybe this part is too much. Let me push it in a bit. Okay, and use that to adding more detail. Decrease the and we can smooth this out. Okay. And I'm going to push this part in a bit because that's too much of the bulge, and that don't look great. Okay, and I think maybe the whole body size is a little bit elongated, so I'm going to make it pretty big, and just to make the whole body length a little bit shorter, right? So all I'm going to do is to grab this and push it in a bit, and hopefully the front you can get pushing as well. Okay, let's look at the ratio. Let's get rid of the hair. This is just for me look at the proportion. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Yeah, I think that approximately this is a good ratio. Okay. And once we got the proportion ready, we are going to use the side view. You can just use the 3, right? And I'm going to adjust this natural curve, because right now it's not so good, because the chest area, this part is definitely got a dent, so I'm going to grab it out, and I'm going to decrease the size, because this sort of fine-tuning of this area. You need to move this out, and this part we need to push it in. So I like a pretty natural curve rather than a specific to significant curve, to prominent curve like this. And the rest you should push it in. I think maybe just at the chest area like this. I think the chest is got a little bit downward a bit, so maybe just push it all the way up. Maybe this too elongated chest. Let me adjust the whole size and push it up a bit, and go to side view, and let's lift it up a bit, and push it down. This part should lift it up a bit so it's smaller. Get this part up, and this part definitely not good. I'm going to push everything in. Okay, so this part should be more prominent, and downward should be pushed in, something like that, so as if it's yeah. Sorry guys, I apologize again. I can't control other the relative workers schedule. I can't control that, so I think I might just need to mute maybe a few minutes and finish our adjustment. So the adjustment is that I'm going to just get a nice curve, like a S shape here, so like something like this, and the rest should be got this part out. This should be extruded a bit, and this should be pushing a bit. Okay, so let's try to do that, and I'm going to mute the mic. Alright guys, I think that's it for this video, and sorry again about the noise. It's just renovating right now. Okay,